Good morning, Knicks Nation. It is Monday, 9 a.m., November the 16th, and this is a huge week for us, Knicks Nation. Big week because today they're going to begin to be able to complete trade deals. We already know of one trade deal. Adrian Wojnarowski already reported that the Lakers have acquired Dennis Schroeder from Oklahoma City. And we also know, of course, and the Lakers sent Danny Green to Oklahoma City and I believe it was for the Lakers' late first round pick. Now, I want to also stress that you obviously now are seeing Oklahoma City has moved a key piece in Dennis Schroeder. They're not moving Dennis Schroeder because they can make the playoff. They're trying to shed salary. Dennis Schroeder's salary is like $17 million. So we can expect a CP3 deal as soon as one develops. It may already be in place. As I mentioned to you a couple of weeks ago, or maybe it was a couple months ago now, time flies so fast. But even though there was a moratorium, and even though technically no deals can be signed as far as contract, agents are contacting teams. Deals are being agreed to. Okay. And then GMs are talking. So deals are being agreed to. GMs are talking. They just couldn't come out with it publicly. So now you're going to see, starting today, deals that probably were already talked about weeks ago or months ago. So, and then also, of course, this is the draft week, huge week for the Knicks. And then Thursday, the 19th, the Knicks have to decide by Thursday what to do with Bobby Portis, what to do with Wayne Ellington, what to do with Reggie Bullock, what to do with Elfrid Payton, what to do with Taj Gibson, because all of these are team options. It's a lot of money, and that's where we're getting our $45 million in cap space from. Also, this week, you're going to probably see Julius Randle move. And then, yeah, you're probably going to see Julius Randle move this week. You may see Dennis Smith Jr. moved. His name has been dangled an awful lot, more than the other players. I mean, it seems like from what we have seen so far, one of the reasons a deal has not been consummated with the Knicks and OKC was the Knicks' reluctance to give up Kevin Knox, which I like. So we're going to see some things. This is a big week because we're going to be able to see this week what our team is going to look like. And then, of course, starting Friday is free agency. This is all happening real fast. Starting Friday is free agency, November 20th, and it goes to the 22nd, which is Sunday when the deals can be signed. Now, just in turn, even though this is a different season than most seasons, obviously, one thing that's going to be the same. Generally, it's July 1st when free agency begins. Now, of course, obviously, like I just mentioned, is beginning Friday, November 20th. The money and the deals happen very quickly. Okay, so you're going to see stuff happen very quickly. Now, generally, the way these things work is the most sought after free agents sign first. Okay, and then the guys are waiting to see what the most sought after free agents sign for and what they got and what's left, and they quickly go in like sharks with blood to water to get the rest. Okay, and in this particular situation, there's no Giannis, there's no LeBron, there's no huge free agent. I mean, AD is going to be a free agent for like an hour because they're going to re-sign him very quickly in LA. That's going to get done. So and then Brandon Ingram the same. Within an hour of free agency, you're going to see Brandon Ingram sign a max deal with New Orleans, period. Okay, so these deals are going to get done quickly. There's only 6 teams with cap space, the Knicks being one of those teams. So unrestricted free agents and restricted free agents are going to want that money. Okay, and some of y'all been talking about, like Joe Harris. We're going to talk about Joe Harris in a minute, but some of y'all talking about Joe Harris giving the Nets a discount. Bruh, look, players trying to get paid, man. Players trying to get paid. There's a limited number of years they have to get maximum money, to get the maximum money that they can. Joe Harris is 29. Okay, he just got $7.6 million last year. This is the only bag he's going to get in his career. Okay, he's going to get as much as he can right now. All right, that's what's going to happen. So the only question is, as far as the Knicks, do you want him? Because it brings me to the Nets. Now, all right, let me just finish what I was saying. So much going on. So this is a big week for us to find out what our roster is going to look like. Big week, okay? With the draft. To me, it appears that the Knicks have narrowed it down to a few players, okay? They have not interviewed. They have not worked out, put it that way. They've interviewed lots of players. They've interviewed a lot of players. But as far as actual workouts, they have not worked out Killian Hayes. They have not worked out Tyrese Halliburton. They have not worked out Isaac Okoro. Now, Isaac Okoro I would consider an exception only because they did so much thorough research on him already. They went down there to Auburn, talked to the trainers, talked to his family, talked to Bill Pearl, talked to him. They didn't work him out. Maybe they don't need to because they already know what his game is. But he's an exception shot. But so to me, the players that it looks like the Knicks are interested in, and plus Isaac Okoro worked out for the Golden State Warriors, the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's all he worked out for. Okay? Obi Toppin worked out for the Knicks and for the Cavaliers. It looks like this. I think the Knicks are not expecting Okoro to drop down to them at 8. I don't think they expect him to be on the board. The Knicks are looking at Devin Vassell, who they've worked out, Obi Toppin, who they've worked out, Kyra Lewis, who they've worked out, and Sadiq Bey, who they've worked out. And as I mentioned to y'all before, I don't believe they're going, if they pick Lewis at 8, that tells me they're planning on just grooming him and not, you don't look for him to start and don't look for him to get a lot of minutes because they'd be looking to groom him, okay, as an understudy for next year, the year after, because he is not ready right now, to me, to be out there trying to lead a team and get somebody to give him the keys to the car. He's just not ready, but he's got the talent to be a star. But anyway, I don't think the Knicks are looking at Lewis or Sadiq Bey at 8. I'd be shocked if that was the case. They're looking at them as trade down scenarios. That's the way I'm looking at it. So they're looking at really Devin Vassell, Obi Toppin. Okay. I'm really surprised that Halliburton is not on their radar in terms of a workout. I'm surprised. And there's been no announcement. Halliburton himself has said he did not work out with the Knicks. LaMelo Ball did a Zoom call with the Knicks. The Knicks did not work him out. The Knicks did not attend his workout from last Thursday. It was the Minnesota Timberwolves. It was the Charlotte Hornets. It was the Detroit Pistons that attended his workout. And the Warriors, nobody else. I don't think the Knicks are looking for LaMelo Ball. I don't care what the hype says, what the news is saying. They're not looking at LaMelo Ball. So I'm thinking you're looking at Isaac Okoro, Obi Toppin, Devin Vassell, Kyra Lewis, and Sadiq Bey. That's what you're probably looking at with the Knicks. I'm still having, my heart is like, I like Halliburton. I don't mind him getting them getting him, but that's probably what we're looking at with the Knicks. You might get a trade down scenario from 8. You might get a trade down scenario. Some teams are talking about the Knicks trading up. I'm not sure who they'd be trading up to get, unless they really want Obi or they really want Okoro and they really don't want them to drop. They don't feel they're going to drop. I think Cleveland is going to take Obi or Okoro. And I think Atlanta is going to take Okoro if he's there. Okoro or Halliburton if they're there. And so there is a possibility if Obi goes to Cleveland and Okoro goes to Atlanta that the Knicks don't have either of those on the board when they're picking at 8. And that might be a trade up scenario. But I don't see them trading up. I see them, if anything, trading down. So that's the draft. And if they trade down, I don't know who they're going to pick because there's so many players. It's like you drop it into an ocean of fish and you can pick a whole bunch of different ones. If they trade down and acquire more picks, who knows what they're going to do. We haven't forgotten about the Utah situation with Mike Conley in the I think it's the 21st pick, the 23rd pick, something like that. That's still there. So we don't know what's going to happen. We have no idea. The Knicks have been very close to the best. So that's the draft. I think they're going to pick up Bullock, because Bullock, $4 million, he shoots the ball, he plays defense. I think they're going to pick up Bullock. Taj Gibson, I would say automatically they pick him up, but $9 million is a big nut on their cap space. So it depends because they're going to bring in a pro level shooter. Who they get, I don't know. It could be Beasley, it could be Malik Beasley, or it could be Bogdanovich. We're talking about Joe Harris today. It could be him. I think it's going to be one of them though. I think it's going to be one of them on the 2 spot. For the 4, I think they're going to heavily go all in on Christian Wood. Okay, I think they're going to go all in on Christian Wood. Definitely from what I'm understanding, Tibbs is pushing them to get some veterans because he wants to win right now. Tibbs don't care. I'm trying to tell y'all, and he's going to play these kids. Y'all don't worry about it because the kids are not rookies. He don't play rookies a lot. But like I said, Kevin's in his third year. Mitch is in his third year. RJ's his second year. Frank's in his fourth year. They're going to play these guys. Okay. I think he's going to play them a lot of minutes. It's going to be good, but he's going to bring in some vets as well. So, okay. So the trade, we're going to find out by the end of the day. There's going to be some wild stuff going on, but the wildness really is going to be on draft night. You're going to see some draft night deals. Ooh, it's going to be off the hook on draft night. So we're going to see what happens. But I think they're going to keep Bullock, Taj as possible. Now, Joe Harris situation. Now, last February, Joe Harris mentioned, he actually said he wants to re-sign with the Nets, right? But that's a standard line that players use. Again, let me just remind y'all, the money for a player doesn't come around all the time. Okay. Joe Harris is 29. So Bogdanovich is 28. See, Malik Beasley, 23. He might have a little time, but these other two guys, this is their hype right now. This is the bag that they've been waiting for. Okay. That's why Bogdanovich has got that 4-year, $51 million deal sitting on the table from Sacramento for over a year, and he hasn't signed it because he's seeing if he can get more money. Okay. And Joe Harris wants the money too. Now, the Nets at $139 million in salary right now. $139 million. That's not bad. I mean, they paid $90 million in tax, in 2014. They paid $90 million in tax in 2014. And the owner popping off talking about, yeah, I pay tax, no problem. Nobody wants to pay that kind of money. And the Nets ain't drawing that kind of crowd. Okay. Now they're expecting to draw it this year because, KD coming back. And they might, but that's a big nut. Right now, $139 million. They're talking about getting James Harden. In order to get James Harden's $41 million this year. He's not a free agent. They got to trade salary. That means Spencer Dinwiddie. That means Taurean Prince. That means Karis LeVert. That adds up to the money they need. They would send those cats to Houston with draft picks to get James Harden. If they did that, they would go from 139 down to 132. They'd be right at the tax apron. Right at it. They wouldn't have, okay. Now they would they go over a little bit because they got to fill in with some minimum salary contracts. They're going to have to probably have 5 players that they got to fill in. They're going to have 7 players probably, and they got to have 5 more players. You got to have at least 12 players on your roster. So they're filling with some minimum contracts, right? So that's going to be $6 million, maybe $6-7 million over the cap, which is where they are now. Joe Harris, he's $18 million a year. I'm trying to tell you, people talking about 16, but remember, the players got to have an escrow this year and next year of 20% of their salary. That's going to affect a lot of stuff. That means, aside from the 50% haircut they get on taxes, there's another 10 to 20% they're going to get a haircut because of the revenue drop. They're going to want to make that money up, so they need some more money. So if Joe was getting 16, he going to want 20% more. Okay? So you're talking about 18 to 20 for Joe Harris. If the Nets paid him $20 million, and they could, he's their player, they got his bird right, they can put $20 million. But if they do, they're going to pay $60 million in taxes just for him. Okay? Just for him. Because there'll be $20 million over the luxury tax. And they're repeat offenders. So they're going to pay at least $60 million plus his 20 for $80 million for that one player. I don't see him doing that. I'm sorry. I don't see him doing that. It's an opportunity for the Knicks. Okay, we can get Joe Harris. Okay, we got the space. Offer the boy 60 over 3. That's what I would do. Offer him 60 million over 3. Y'all think I'm crazy? I want this boy. He's a shooter, man. This guy's in his 7th year, 43% 3-point shooter for his career. Solid player. Gym rat. Came from dirt. Started off his career making 900 G's. Okay, and he just got paid 7.6 last year. It's time to get paid. Offer this boy the bag. That's what I'm saying. Now the Nets could still get crazy and just say screw it and we'll pay the 60 million to keep him. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Okay, even at 139 where they at right now, that doesn't include Joe Harris. So whatever they signed Joe Harris for is going to cost $3 because they repeat offenders and they 20 million over the luxury tax. They're going to pay $3 for every dollar. That's a lot of money in a year where you're not getting the same revenues, man. Told you about the business, right? So the Knicks could get this boy. Now we can get him and we can get Bogdanovich, or one of the two. And I'm telling you, by the end of this week, by Monday the 23rd, we're gonna have one of them on our roster. One of them's gonna be on our roster. I'm trying to tell you. Okay, so that's that. And then on the 4 side, we still got Christian Wood. I think they're gonna go heavy on Christian Wood. And I don't know who else. Jeremy Grant's not coming here. He's gonna get his money, and he's gonna get his money to stay in Denver. So I don't see that's a big deal. He's not coming here. Bertans, if they want Bertans, I don't think Bertans is a Tibbs type of player because he's not the defensive guy. He's a shooter. He's a specialist. He's never started. He's never played more than 30 minutes a game. Okay? He's a great shooter, but he's not proven in that regard. Okay? Joe Harris played 30 minutes a game last 2 seasons. Joe Harris averaged 15 last year. Joe Harris averaged his 43% shooting from 3 on 6 attempts a game. That's the man you want. Okay? That's the man you want. Okay, so I'm looking at Joe Harris. I'm looking at Christian Wood. Okay? They could still get a guy like Mook. He's a vet. That's still out there. They can still get a Gallinari. I don't think they're going to get Gallinari. Again, we got Tibbs as our coach. He's looking for defense, my friends. You got to be able to come on the defensive end to play for Tom Thibodeau. Period. So he's not having it. So I don't think Bertans is in the cards. I don't think Gallinari's in the cards because his knee's too stiff to play defense. Okay? But I can see a Mook. Okay? I can see a Christian Wood. We could do that. Okay? And then if we draft Obi Toppin, well, that's that. If we draft Obi Toppin, we don't need either. They might not get either of them guys if they draft Obi Toppin. Okay? Because that's it. Okay? You got him at the 4 spot. And I'm trying to tell you, listen to me carefully what I'm about to tell you. If the Knicks draft Obi Toppin, now, yeah, he sucks on defense. No question. But he's going to get us 20 a game from that spot without hogging the ball, without being a ball stopper, without spinning into the lane and turning it over 5 times a game. He's going to get us 20 points a game. Okay? I don't know if Thibodeau's into him because, like I said, you got to play defense to play for Tom Thibodeau. But I don't know. He got Carlos Boozer to play defense. He did. He got Carlos Boozer to play defense. So, hey, we don't know what's going to happen, right? So, but there's a lot going to happen. So let me just give you my prediction. Next week, this time, we will have either Christian Wood or Mook or Obi Toppin as our 4. We're going to have either Joe Harris, Bogdanovich, or Malik Beasley as our 2. We're going to have drafted, I don't know, like I said, the 8 spot, like I said, Okoro, Devin Vassell, Obi Toppin, Kyra Lewis, and Sadiq Bey. I have no idea because they worked out all these guys. Of course, y'all know I like Devin Vassell. I like Devin Vassell at the top of the pile, but I don't know what and the Knicks did go down there to Georgia and see my boy, like they did Kyra Lewis. So we'll see what happens. But I think definitely Obi's going to Cleveland at 5. I'd be shocked if they didn't pick him at 5. And if they happen to pick him, I think Atlanta's going to take Okoro. They need the defense. Okay. If Cleveland takes Okoro, then Obi's probably going to drop to us. If you see Cleveland take Okoro at 5, just know we're going to draft Obi Toppin. Okay. That's going to happen. All right. But, anyway, that's my take. Joe Harris is available. He wants the bag. I'm saying 3 years, $60 million. You check it out. $20 million a year, right? He'd only be bringing home. I'm going to say only because it's still a lot of money, but he'd be bringing home $6 million. Whereas in a normal year, he'd be bringing home $10 million. He's going to bring home. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. He's trying to get the most he can. Now, some of that escrow money might come back to him because it's based on revenue. The league is holding the money. It's not completely taking the money, but it's holding it. It could not come back, but it could come back based on revenues. So these cats are looking to get paid. All right. They're looking to get paid. So we have an opportunity to weaponize our cap space and pilfer some talent. Let me know what y'all think. Have a good Monday. This is a big week. I may not be here on tomorrow, depending on what happens today with the trades, but definitely Wednesday it's going to be lit. I might be on Sportscaster on Wednesday. I'm still trying to figure out that software. It's on Wednesday for the draft. And then definitely going to review the players we definitely select after the draft. And then, of course, Thursday is a big day because we're going to find out who the Knicks are keeping. They might use some of these players as trade chips for, God forbid, Russell Westbrook. We don't want Russell Westbrook. Think of this. When you think of Russell Westbrook, okay? I'll get ready to end it right here. But when you think of Russell Westbrook, how would you feel in February if Russell Westbrook is in street clothes, on the sideline, out for the year with a 6th knee surgery? How would you feel about that? How would you feel that he's missing games because of knee surgery, because he's had 5 on his right knee, not including shoulder surgery, not including hand surgery. He's had 5 knee surgeries on his right knee, and he's 32. So how would you feel? Don't think about him triple doubling and leading us to the playoffs. Think about how you would feel. You're paying him $130 million over the next 3 years, and he's in street clothes. Because that's what I keep seeing. That's why I don't want him. Okay? Shalom.